Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. Should we go back? Should we go back to the start of your football career then? Okay, because when we were on the golf course earlier, you said that you never really got into football until quite late. Actually, did you? You never really got into being a goalkeeper. You were playing out quite a lot. You were an outfielder. When did you discover that you wasn't bad with the gloves on as well?
It's a good question because I've been asked that question a few times before, and I don't really know actually. I think when I was around 10, when I started to become a goalkeeper, I think it was once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, there came like a goalkeeper coach, and he tried to teach us the basic techniques and how to catch and how to dive. And I think I picked it up quite fast. And I think that being a nerd around some technical stuff, that just turned something on in me.
You like that, yeah?
I love that, cutting out an angle or how to catch or how to dive, so I think that just turned something on me in those sessions.
And then from that point, did it escalate quite quickly? Was it quite obvious that you were very good at keeping the ball from going in the back of the net?
Yeah, I think from that point it was like, well, I'm a goalkeeper now. I was still participating a lot with the team because we didn't have that goalkeeper coach every day as you have now in most academies. So I was just participating with the team and playing possession games and passing drills and everything. So, but when we had to play on 2 goals, it was always me going in there, and I wanted to as well. So, yeah.
And then you went through the ranks at Brøndby.
Yeah, so I moved to Brøndby when I was 16.
Yeah,
I had my first trials there when I was 14, and came on a 1-year contract. In Denmark, we have something called after school, like a 10th grade, where you move and you live with. It was like 100 other kids at that time.
Footballers?
No, just you can come to the school and just live and just.
Oh, like a boarding school.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I signed the first year there and a year there, and just to see how it was like, and then they offered me another contract, and then just
kept going.
For 7 years. Yeah.
So can you talk about that first season then, when you broke into the Brøndby first team and you're playing week in, week out?
Yeah, it was a special time, I remember, because we just came back off. It was the first championship that Brøndby won in 16 years, and there were like 7 or 8 of the starting 11 players who expired their contract. So it was like it was a different situation, and at that time we qualified for the Champions League playoff game. So it was like we don't really have a team to compete.
Wow.
And a young goalkeeper who's never played at any level before. So what will this be? But they told me you just get a chance from 4, 5, 6 games, whatever, and then let's see how it goes.
And how do you deal with that? Like you speak about it like it's just kind of run of the mill. Like that's just just kind of what happens.
No, it was tough, and I was very nervous for the first many weeks, and especially up to the first league game of the season. I was, that was tough. I remember, but
you remember what the score was?
It was 1-1, and I did quite well, but I was also very focused on what other people thought about me, in that time, because I wanted to prove that I belonged at that level. So I remember I played quite well in the beginning, and
is that something you learned to let go of? Is that worry about what other people are thinking of you, and then just focus on you?
Definitely. I think I think as long as I'm doing my things on the pitch and in the training every single day, I know that no one can say anything.
And is that when you said about you were worrying about it? Would you? How did that kind of behaviour come out? Would you be looking on Twitter or Instagram and game summaries? Is that where you were kind of looking?
Yeah, I wasn't really searching for it, but it was also more from the coaching staff that I wanted to, that recognition of saying you're good enough, you can keep on playing, because they told me you can play 4, 5, 6 games and let's see, and I was like, will it end after 4, 5 or 6 games? But But no, so I think I was kind of desperate just to show that I belonged at that level.
Well, anyway, it went well for you because you played the whole season. You got Player of the Year at Brøndby, and then following season, you get the move to Leicester. Can you remember when there were transfer rumours in the press about the move and potentially you going to Leicester?
There was never any. It was. I think it was quite unique.
Super unique. That never happens.
It never happens really, and yeah, I think all of us just kept tight with it.
So none of your teammates knew?
No one knew. A few of my because we were with Brøndby on a training camp in Cardiff, was it? So of course I told some of the guys there that I was leaving and I was going to sign, but it never went out anywhere. So actually on the day I signed, I read on in the news that Mads Hermansen is going to Anderlecht now, and I was like, no, I'm not. I just signed for Leicester, but no one knew. So it was. I think it was quite a unique situation.
That is, in this day and age, that is
unheard of.
But you'd established yourself quickly, so I guess there wasn't time to kind of like the euphoria around your name because you were quite new on the scene, weren't you? Now with that, how did Leicester spot you? Was it like a scout that came out, or how did that come about?
Well, I've been talking to the scouts afterwards to ask, why did you pick me? And obviously they know everything, what's going on everywhere in Europe. So they just been following me for a few years, I think they said.
Really?
Yeah.
What, coming and watching and...
Not like going every time, but you know, just keeping an eye out.
Whilst you were with the Denmark age groups as well.
Yeah. So I played for the 18s, 19s, 21s, and I think they watched me there as well as in the Danish league. And then I think with Maresca coming in as manager, I think my profile kind of suited quite well for him. So yeah.
What was it? Was it an easy decision, was it? Because obviously Brøndby, you've been there for a while, you feel kind of a bit of a debt of gratitude to them, but it's an big English team coming in for you, isn't it?
You kind of know that Leicester are going to... There's no such thing as a guarantee in the Championship, we know that, but Leicester were hot favourites to kind of bounce back, weren't they?
Yeah, so that was kind of the risk-reward. I had some interest from other clubs as well in Europe.
Anderlecht, one of them?
Well, I didn't know about it until I read it. But Leicester was for sure, the best option for me. It felt like so. It was kind of an easy decision. I forgot your question.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, that was all.
When you're playing in your home country, it was the kind of, without being disrespectful, was like the goal for young players to kind of make a name, be seen, and then maybe move to a slightly bigger league across Europe. Yeah,
I think it is. It is a great scene to show yourself and prove yourself, and at some kind of level, of course. When you're young, you always want to take that next step and be ambitious and dream and everything. So, but I feel like after a year and a half that maybe it's time for me to try myself on the next level. So. And we started to look for that opportunity, and that was Leicester at the point. And
were you nervous when you signed?
I was.
Obviously, at the time at Leicester, they've got some good goalkeepers. You've got big boots to fill with the likes of Peter Schmeichel, who had been there for so long. Boots to fill with Kasper Schmeichel, who had been there for so long. Danny Ward at the club. Daniel Everson at the club. Were you guaranteed that you were going to be playing, or was it kind of right, but you all got to fight for it?
It was all just let's see what happens. Yeah. But I knew that I fitted quite well in the system.
Yeah. And with your style of play? With
my style of play. But yeah, it was. There were 4 keepers in the squad already when they signed me. So it was like, okay, we're going to be 5 keepers here. But I just came in and tried to play, let my boots talk.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.